mistake of mine that I had, that I made early, was knowing that I only had them for this weekend. So I'm trying to be that man. I'm trying to impart that manliness stuff to them. I'm talking life. And like, let's have some fun. And for a long time, I'm going straight at the things that they need to have to be good men. And I started missing the part that they were enjoying being with me.
Yeah.
It became more of, okay, let's go to dad, because it really was a job for them to take me, and a job for me to give them the man stuff, which I'm trying to pour it in, which really they weren't really ready for. But because of the situation, I knew my time was limited. And I knew that during the week, they weren't necessarily getting my voice. And I knew that there were some other emphasis being made. So I'm trying to put everything in, but what I would say is make sure you enjoy yourself doing what it is you do to be, and they'll pick up more from that. I did make that mistake of trying to make sure that I was giving them what they needed. And what they needed a lot of times was some fun.
Stan, guys, man, I gotta jump in. I gotta jump in here and just chime in on that. Man, you are absolutely right. Because I remember, and I thought about this early on, as a father, when I would go pick him up for those weekends, I would think, okay, so part of being a dad, I got to be a disciplinarian. I got to make sure I keep him in line. But I learned this so very early on. I was like, man, we have very limited time together. It can't be a boot camp every other weekend. It cannot. It will. We already have a gap. And if once we do get together and I'm just being we're talking you military guys, just being a drill sergeant, just being in charge and being this chief and being this, this strong will and, hey, I got to fix you. And it's not going to be any fun for me. It's not going to be any fun for him. We're not going to bond because we need that time to make up for it and bond and make up for the 26 days that we didn't get. But then I felt I was concerned. I was a little gun shy about that. I knew that was the right approach. I said, you know what, I got to make sure that I'm not just, this authority figure, right? I have to make sure that I'm this confidant and this silly clown and this coach. And I remember when he once stopped playing for whatever other reason, he said, you're my coach, and man, I will always hold on to that. And that's why I said that was one reason why I did so much coaching in addition to my love for sports. But, I felt a little guilty at first taking that approach because I was like, well, what if he has issues? What if he gets in trouble? What if I'm looked at as a pushover if I don't, lay down the law? If I don't, keep him in line, what's going to happen if he makes a mistake? Then the world can look back at me and say, well, it's because you didn't do your job. And I realized, man, you know what, man? The examples that we set forth, and the love we pour into them, the good is gonna far outweigh any bad. And if we teach them the right way by just like lessons and showing them the ropes, and you know what, as kids, you always want to impress and please, the authority figure, the coach, the parent, right? Even the big brother, big sister. So you know what? He's gonna be in line, and he comes from good stock, And you've got, you're in a good environment, a law-abiding environment. You get enough discipline from coaches and teachers and all that. But when he gets around dad, he needs to be able to feel more appreciated, and needs to feel love, and he needs to know that there's a line. He needs to know there's a line that he can't cross, right? And he needs to know, ethics and morals and rules and law and things like that. But you know what? Those 48 hours can't be rooted in that. The draconian stuff. The 48 hours that we have together, they've got to be rooted in, what are we talking about? Parenting. That's what it's got to be rooted in. So I will say, Stan, that was something that this light bulb just went off in my head, man, that I learned that early on. I said, yeah, I gotta be more than just some sort of red light to him.
They need that love. And when you love them, there was a There can be discipline in love.
Yeah.
There can be discipline in fun. If it's sports, there are rules to every sport. So there are rules to life. You can have fun, you can have enjoyment, but like you say, you don't want to be that drill sergeant, because one of the things I would venture to guess that every now and then when something is going wrong, you get the call.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But see, and that also adds to your part in being that disciplinarian. So every time there's an issue, you get the call, and now you are disciplining him from even from your house now. So now you're not just the boot sergeant at your place. That's all you're known for. You're being known for. It's like he just come in to bring that switch or bring that belt. And I was used to tell him, like, really, I don't think we did. That was very little spanking. And that's another reason why men need to be with their children. They always talk about that look. Mothers give that look. Fathers have, and I just talked with the young lady, but they have that voice.
That voice, yeah, man.
They know when the end is. Okay, I've gone. That's the line right there. And I've always believed that it's a child's job to find the line. Find the line. And if you can get over it, get over it. But our job is to say, that's where it is right there. and when you get there, that's where I start. That's where the other parent, that real parenting starts. Okay, that's as far as you can go because of this. And sometimes it's just because I said so. But their minds are wide open. Their experience in life, they have no idea what's going on. So they're supposed to try things, and we're supposed to be there to guide them and let them know, well, that's a step too far, or you're getting close to the line.
Right.
It takes a minute for us to do it again. Now, I'll tell you now, man, I'm a heck of a granddad. I got this crap down now.
Got it down pat.
I got it down. But it's a joy to have them. And I can say that now because, and every now and then I'll see a young guy out there with his kids, and I'll give him some attaboys, because when you're doing the right thing, you're just doing the right thing. But I always say, enjoy the time that you have. Be the parent, be the disciplinarian, be whatever, but enjoy your children, because they won't be children for long. I remember, I'll stop again. I remember being in Texas, and my grandson was there. He was laying there in the bed. He was sleeping with me, and I look over at him, and the Lord just showed me that, it's like you're laying beside a grown man. And really, he was about this long, but that was an adult sitting there. Adult hands inside that little baby hand. And my job was to make sure that I do my best to help him be a good man, because regardless, a man is coming out of this little thing, eventually is going to be a man. And our job is to make sure that as he stretches out, he becomes the best man that he could be. He's got his ideas, and you channel the ideas to make them work for him, because they don't know. I remember when my son did live with me for 1 year in school, he got suspended. And I was like, I'm on my way to the school to try and get business with this principal that had to suspend him. And I'm like, today? Out of all the days, but anyway, I remember I got him home. We had our issue. I gave him my talk, and I told him, look, I think it was 14 maybe, but that was the last time he got a spanking. And I don't do spankings, but it was like, I always told you that I am always going to try and give you what you deserve. You have earned this. You earned it, and that's exactly what he did. He started laughing. So we went through it was just really just for show. It was something that had to be done, but there was no real no real spanking going, because when he understood, we just went through the motion because, okay, I got it, Dad. But on my way downstairs, I said something, and something happened. I don't know, he said something, and it didn't register with me. And I got back up the steps so fast. And before I realized it, I was at him, and I'll say, boy, do you understand what you just said? And again, the Lord said, no, he doesn't. He has no idea. He is thinking with a teenage mind, and a teenage mind has no idea other than what time dinner is and what he's heard at school. So that this one is for you guys, because they don't know. That they really don't know. He was as tall as I was. I thought because of size he would understand. And I'm just telling you guys so that you'll understand that their size, all they have is baby experiences. And when we talk to them, we talk with years of experience. You know, we've gone through this, we've gone through that. We got this challenge, we got that challenge. We made this up. We've had to make this happen. We've overcome. Ain't have overcome nothing. Yeah, they doing homework. That somebody gave them. So that one was not, I'm off topic, but that hit me because I wanted to make sure that when you guys are there, because you guys are young, they really don't know. They have no idea. They're just talking as teenagers talk. And at that particular time, I didn't, because they weren't with me all the time. I didn't, there's a process that you guys have because they are there. You can grow with them.
Well,
you grow up as they're growing to be teenagers. You are growing to understand teenagers. I had a weekend, and part of that weekend was either 8 hours on the road. Well, that's 16 hours, 8 hours, because I didn't stop. I stopped to gas up, let them use the bathroom, but I didn't have a chance to grow with them. So take the opportunity while you have it. And as they become teenagers and go through that, you guys grow with them.
I'll say, hey, Reg, I'll say this, and then I want to throw something at you. Stan, you mentioned about getting that phone call from the other parent, from the other, the other end of the spectrum, whatever, the other side of the nation or what have you. And you are the dad, and so you have that dad voice, and you are that final authoritarian, and they say, well, if you get in trouble or if you do this, I'm going to call your dad. And it comes out to be, and then you think about it, and that parlayed into how I came to realize that it was okay for me to take a more loving, a more, because I don't want to say loving versus, there's a difference between loving and being a disciplinary. They're intertwined. But I wanted to, that's why I took the approach I took and realized I didn't always have to be so heavy-handed and just guiding him to try to do the right thing all the time, because you're going to be so bad. And, just learning to live and enjoy and relax and have fun with that short amount of time is because guess what? If something happens in that other household, I'm going to get a phone call anyway. And so that fear and that respect, I don't have to do it all the time. I don't have to execute on it all the time while he's in my presence. Because guess what? Somebody else has already put me on that pedestal. Somebody else has already given me that title that, hey, you get in trouble, we're going to dad. And so I don't have to always lay the hammer while he's with me, because somebody else is reminding him of what my role is. And I'll say, put this to you, Reg. What's it been? And I know we're up against, got a few minutes here. We could end here. I think this is a good question here. I'll pose this to both of you guys, but I'll start with you, Reg. Those times when you have your kids with you, and you get that email, you get that text message, you get that phone call, hey, Reg, hey, handsome, or hey, Newt, or hey, friend, hey, buddy, we got this going on tonight. We got this going on this weekend, but it's your weekend with your kid. How do you juxtapose? How do you juggle that time where hey, listen, you have a life too. You need a life, but man, hey, first things first. I'm a father. I'm a dad first. So what were some of those experiences like, or did you have people you could? Did you try to go? Did you try to handle it by saying, hey, I'll just drop in, wave my hand for a few minutes and run back? Did you have a good, babysitter, or did you always turn down every opportunity when it was your weekend? How did you handle those conflicts, those scheduling conflicts from a social perspective?
Well, Raja, you know me, from Theta Pi to Mu side to the citizen.
Yep.
I done all that. I done it. We done it to the full.
Yep.
And so it's the old saying, you can't make everything, and then what's important to you. Now there are times, so it's a little bit of both, but more so than the latter.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say, hey, I can't make it. I can't make that because I'd rather be with my son than to be over there, unless it was something that was planned out far in advance, and but it's that high and by. Because
Gotcha.
I got little man back, so back at the house or whatnot, or I got somebody watching them, yeah. I mean, now if it's on my weekend, things shut down. I mean, I have stuff, being active in an alumni chapter, and all around the state, there's something going on.
Yeah.
But been there, done that. I did all my. A fun part of it, socializing, if that's what it is. I done that, so I could miss that. I'd rather keep that time with my son. But if it's about business or about to take care, some, whether it's capital business or business in general, then I could make a concession and be like, hey, but I got to get back real soon. I keep that short. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Stan, did you have? I know you're on the road a lot. Did you have any conflict? I don't say conflicts, but did you? Well, because we all do, because we live in the realm of time, right? So we all have scheduling conflicts. But how did you approach it? How did you approach those social opportunities and invites and those kind of things that were kind of dangling out there for a while? But you got your sons, and I know you've got wonderful sisters, and your mom is a saint. And so how did you handle those conflicts?
It took a while, actually, when I was stationed there in Athens, and actually some of the boys were with me at that particular point, I didn't. Anything that I could not do during that work period, mm-hmm. I didn't do. It took a minute for me to accept an invitation to go down, because at that time when I first got here, they were doing the Friday seafood thing, and Jeff and Dwayne, they would always get together and say, well, stop down. They would do it down at because I didn't, because as much as you say, got great sisters, they were great baby sisters. Mom was there. It was like, you're not the babysitter. I'm that father now. And well, your boys are big enough to be here. Mm-hmm. Mine aren't. Mm-hmm. So when they called, I was always gracious to say, I really appreciate it, but I'm not. I wouldn't go. So there were just, I don't know, Raj. For me, it was a long time before I started doing that, and I don't really think I did. I may have gone out once before Vera came, and I didn't mean to call her name, but anyway, before she got them back in VA. Mm-hmm. But up until they were back in VA, I don't know. I felt that responsibility that even though I was stationed there in Athens, if I did not put them in the bed, when I had like duty and I had to be there overnight, if I did not bathe them and put them in bed, the first face they saw in the morning when they woke up was going to be mine, which meant once I got turnover done on base, I was driving back to Greene County to get them ready for school, get Stephen ready to go to Miss V's, and then drive right back, 15 minutes later. It's only a 45-minute ride. But if I didn't put them in bed, I needed to be the first thing they saw. So I just worked that out with the base, like, okay, I'm going to be gone. I'm going down here. My sons have to see me this morning. And, the family always say, look, we have them. You don't need to keep, like, yes, I do.